In this video, we'll be learning about how to break a tie in the entering variable. So sometimes there are situations when we apply simplex method and we are solving a linear programming problem, and in that we get a tie in the entering variable. And to show this situation, let me to consider an example. Here we want to solve this linear programming problem using simplex method, and we can see that this problem is a maximization problem where we have three decision variables x1, x2, x3, and all the three constraints are less than or equal to. So to solve this problem with the simplex method, I must need to first write this into the standard form and then need to involve the slack variables in these three constraints, and then I'm going to make the first simplex table. Now here I'm going to write all the basic variables and corresponding to which I'm going to write down the scalars in the first table. So this is the solution, xb is used for the solution, and I write z here, and the value of the z will be written here in this xp column. Now since this is the first simplex table and we always want to start with the ready identity, so I'll take s1, s2, s3 as the basic variable, and once we take this b as the ready identity, because slack variables correspond to 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 from the main coefficient matrix that we can see from the constraint. I have already discussed about this coefficient matrix earlier also in my videos many times. So now just simply write down the coefficient from looking the constraint from here, the coefficients of x1, then the coefficients of x2, and then the coefficient of x3, and then slack surplus variable, where s1, s2, s3 were the slack variable added in the first, second and third constraint respectively. Now we want to write down the z column, and to write down the z column I also need to look at what is cb vector. Cb is the cost of the basic variable. Since the slack surplus variable cost here in the objective function is always 0, so now I write 0 into s1 plus 0 into s2 and 0 into s3. So now to calculate zj minus cj, what we do is we multiply CB into these B inverse AJs. So this is B inverse A1 column, which is the scalar, and these notation I have also used in my earlier videos. So for the detailed understanding of this ZJ minus CJ column, you can please watch earlier videos first. So we multiply these set of scalar with the CB vector corresponding by, so 0 into 2 plus 0 into 2 plus 1 into 0, that gives me 0 minus the cost of x1, and the cost of x1 is 4, so here I get this quantity as minus 4, and similarly we get minus 4, minus 3, 0, 0, 0, and the right hand side is the right hand side of the constraint 4, 5, 3, which is this right hand side. To calculate the value for z, the same way I'm going to multiply xb multiplied by CB corresponding. So this is row multiplication, 0 into 4 plus 0 into 5 plus 0 into this 3. So this value for z initially it is 0. Now since this problem is a maximization problem, for the maximization problem we have this entering criteria as zj minus cj with most negative, and the optimality criteria for the maximization problem is when all zj minus cj are greater than or equal to 0. Now that can be seen from this problem itself that all the zj minus cj are not greater than or equal to 0. That means we have to choose the entering variable, and by looking this criteria that zj minus cj most negative, we find that there is a tie in the entering variable. Since x1 is also corresponding to minus 4 and x2 is also corresponding to minus 4, so this means there is a tie in entering variable. Now we need to know how to break this tie in the entering variable. So now to break the tie in the entering variable, we have two options. Either we make an arbitrary choice selection to enter the variable, so either we can choose x1 as the entering variable or x2 as the entering variable. It's not going to leave us to a wrong conclusion. Sometime only that we have, if we enter x1 we may have a less number of iteration. If we enter x2 we might need to do one more iteration. So that's the only difference. If we want to be very sure which variable gives us the best value corresponding to z, then we might need to look for the option 2, that is way 2. In this case I am going to choose the variable which correspond to theta j zj minus cj most negative. And to explain this, let's see what is theta j. Theta j was a minimum ratio quantity and zj minus cj was a net evaluation. Now let's look at this option again. So suppose if I enter x1, so here suppose if I was entering x1 and corresponding to this I calculate the minimum ratio, and let me to call this minimum ratio as theta 1. And then same procedure I will do for if I select x2 as the entering variable, and I will calculate the minimum ratio corresponding to that also, and let me to call this as theta 2. Now suppose if you take x1 as the entering variable, so in this case to find the minimum ratio rule, what I will do is, so minimum ratio rule was, so if you want to calculate theta j, this is minimum of xbi upon alpha ij such that the scalar alpha ij is strictly positive. Now these are the scalars that we have written here. So if x1 is the entering variable, among these scalar, I want to check this ratio of the xba. So this is 4 upon 2, that's giving me 2, 5 upon 2, this is 2.5, 3 upon 1, this is 3. And according to this, the minimum ratio will correspond to 2. And if I choose x2 as the entering variable, so now let's look at corresponding to x2. If we select x2 as the variable, in that case, what are the scalar? These are the scalar, and I have to check the ratio again with 453, that is xpi. And in this case, I will have 4 upon this one, so this quantity is 4. Then I have to take 5 upon 3, and 5 upon 3 is something 1.6. 3 upon 1, so this is 3. And here we find that the minimum ratio is 1.6. Now we notice that in my last video we have seen that if z hat is the next improved value, z naught is the current value minus theta j into zj minus cj. Now theta j is never a negative quantity, this is minimum ratio, so this is always positive, or it may be 0 sometime depending upon if x is 0, but it's never negative. So it's a non-negative quantity, and we enter this as most negative if the problem is maximization, so that this negative quantity and the negative sign that we see here improves the value, and we store that value in terms of z hat, and this is our previous value. So now let us see here by this formula. So the first option was if x1 enters into the basis. In this case, z hat will be z naught is our 0. As we see here, this the value for z naught currently it is 0. So this is 0 minus theta j. So if x1 enters into the basis, from here we see that this 2 is the minimum ratio. So I have to consider theta j as 2 into zj minus cj, that is minus 4. So that we can see it from here, this is minus 4. So this total quantity is equal to 8. Whereas if I enter x2 into the basis, in this case z hat, the improved value z naught is 0, current z naught, which is this, current theta j. In this case, if I choose x2 as the entering variable, so the minimum ratio I have to consider is 1.6, and the zj minus cj is minus 4. So in this case, this will be minus 1.6 multiplied by minus 4, and this value is something about 6.4. Now we can see that z hat is more improved if I would have entered x1, and it is less improved in comparison to x1 if I enter x2. So this way we can apply the option 2 or the way 2 to find a better improved value, although both are improving. So the optimal solution that we get at the end is same. It's not going to change for this particular problem, but yeah, sometimes number of iteration do vary. And so we choose x2 as the entering variable, as theta j minus zj minus cj is most negative. And here we can now have the understanding if the problem was given, problem was minimization problem. In this case, we have to enter a variable where theta j, zj minus cj is most positive. In fact, we used to apply the entering variable zj minus cj, which is most positive. But in case we have a tie, just attach the multiplication of theta j into zj minus cj. In case both are having the same tie, again we are going to make the arbitrary choice. So that is how we can break the tie in the entering variable.